connection. And I could not make a sound.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Geek Out With Me. Today we are diving into the world of traditional Japanese flutes with someone who doesn't just play one type. He plays Shinobue and Shakuhachi and mainly Okinawan Yokobue, right?
Mainly,
Yeah, and even Didgeridoo. So I'm really excited to see he playing Didgeridoo as well. So actually it's outside of the camera frame.
It's over here.
Just there. All right, so this is Jordan, and what fascinates me is how he explored the soul of different cultures through these wild instruments. From the delicate sound of the Shinobue to the ancient voice of the Didgeridoo. So I've never tried a flute, but I just heard it's difficult to make the sound. So I'm really interested in how he got through those journeys. So today we are discovering what draws someone to these traditional instruments and what each one teaches about breath, culture, and sound. Passion breaks language barriers. Let's get right into it. How did you get into traditional Japanese flutes? So was there a specific moment when you heard the sound of Shinobue or Shakuhachi and thought like, oh, I need this?
So maybe about 6 or 7 years ago, I was part of a taiko group called Drum Gendai in Cairns.
In Cairns,
In
okay.
Cairns, yeah.
So taiko group.
Yeah, taiko
Okay.
group. And they had a guest teacher come over, Yasukazu Kano sensei, and he did a workshop of Shinobue over at the tanks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I had never touched a flute or any sort of melodic instrument before in my
Really?
life. Yeah, no.
Oh, okay. I thought you got some kind of experience of
No,
maybe flute or some.
not at that stage, not at 7 years ago. But he did the workshop and I participated in it because I thought, why not? I'll try something different. And I could not make a sound. You know, I paid for the flute. I paid for the lesson.
Paid for the flute as well.
Oh, yeah, because, it's your flute. You know, you can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense, but gonna be a little bit like hard to start.
Yeah.
Like, as an investment.
Yeah, but it's only a plastic one. You get it for $25.
Okay, yeah. That's good to hear.
So he's standing there, and we have the entire group of people, playing a melody that he's trying to teach us, and he keeps coming back to me and holding the flute up and helping me like position my mouth. And if I don't move it, then I can make a sound. But if I adjust or move, then I'm completely silent. And I felt a bit silly, spending all of that money and not being able to use it properly. So luckily for me, like COVID happened about a month after that and everybody's sitting at home. So I have my work from home arrangement. I have the flute on my desk. If I have like 5 minutes, I just pick it up and I start blowing. I do this for 9 months. Yeah.
9 months?
I do this for 9 months before.
While the lockdown?
Yeah, during the lockdown. The lockdown wasn't that entire length, but after that, like I could just get up the scale of like the lower octave and the higher octave. That's how long it took me. And then I went to Japan.
Oh, you went to Japan to
After that.
learn more?
No, I went to Japan because I had a job over there waiting for me as an English teacher.
Yeah. Wow. So as long as I understand, there wasn't really like the moment you fell in love to flute, but you are more like stick to the making sounds because you started.
And I think the falling in love happened in two different ways.
Yeah.
One, when I was trying to learn and I kept looking at videos of people who were playing really, really well. And the more I got used to listening to them play, I started noticing the things about it that I really liked. And I started getting curious, like, oh, like that's an interesting little sound. Like how did he do that? Or how did she make the flute sound like a bird? Like those sorts of things are really cool and interesting. And as soon as you get over that initial hurdle of being able to do anything, then you start saying, oh, well, I have this skill now. I may as well just keep going. And you start finding more and more beautiful things about the instrument, just through repetition and exposure. Yeah.
I see. But so what made you stick to the practice? Because, lots of people kind of gave up, not about only flute, but also like learning English or any kind of skills. I know it's a little bit hard to get through the first step, like a hurdle, until they get something like, so, okay, this is how to do that.
Yeah.
So what made you to get through that?
When I went to Japan would probably have been a natural point for me to stop playing. But actually, when I got to Yonaguni, I noticed that a lot of teachers had flutes on their desk. And I was wondering, where did they get all of these flutes from? And it turns out that the boss of the Board of Education, Tahara-san, he actually made them as a hobby. Yeah, he made the flutes.
Wow.
So we've got one here. This one is in G, but you can see his mark is here, his hanko. And this was one that I actually got last year. I'll talk a bit more about it later. But he, in fact, just made these flutes in his spare time and distributed them to all of the schools for free because all of the students were given the opportunity to learn songs of their local island. And so as soon as I got there, I already had the ability to just go up and down the scale. So now I could actually be a part of the community that I was in, playing the songs that were local and unique to Yonaguni Island. And it was a way for me to integrate very quickly into the community. So every Saturday we had like a sit down, we played kunkunshi, sanshin, fue, singing, all of that stuff. So it was great.
I see. So the experience and skill of fue made you to be a part of the very local community, and which is even harder for other Japanese, I guess. I mean, you know, the more local the area become, the harder to be a part of them, like really to be a part of them. We can just visit them, but it doesn't mean we are the one of them. But I think you, like as a foreigner, but with the fue skill, that was a really surprise for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I can imagine how they react.
And I knew that there were Japanese people from other parts of Japan who lived on the island, and it took them years. They already could play the flute. But it took them years to get into the community in the same way that it took me maybe months. I think one of the things that Japanese people assume about foreigners is that we're not actually interested in the things that they do because it's just normal for them. And it's like doing the harvest festival, for example, is just an annual thing that they do in the same way that, you know, we pay our taxes every year. And so they think, oh, well, why is this guy, you know, interested? Why is he showing up? It's like, oh, he actually cares. Like, all right, let's invite him in. And so, part of that surprise, you know, it stops them from asking you in the first place, but once you get into it, they really appreciate having you there.
That's really nice. So you play the flute in Yonaguni.
Yeah.
So when you're playing, what's your favorite like sound or feeling, or even probably the smell of the bamboo? So what kind of sensory do you feel the most? I know, of course, that would be the sound.
Yeah.
But do you feel any other? Can you describe any other like experience?
I think it would be the vibration. So when you play and you hit that note just right, it's resonant. And it's not just resonant in the object that you're playing. You can sort of feel it bouncing off the walls because there's something about the walls that reflect the same frequency as the flute.
Yeah.
Sometimes if a drum is tuned to the same frequency as the flute I'm playing, not necessarily the same high pitch, but like a harmonic of it, then you can actually start noticing it produce its own little wobble. And that's really satisfying as well because you can feel it in your fingers when you hit a nice note. And you can feel it like sometimes it sits on your lip here and you can feel it in your lip, you can feel it in your fingers and you can hear it and it's just perfect. And that's a really satisfying place for it to be, especially when you're not trying. You know, it's just effortless, you know?
Like being in a zone kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
So you said you've never played any like Western like instruments like flute or anything, but do you think that like a Western like classic orchestra with the conductor is a little bit something different from the like Japanese orchestra, like Japanese flute and drums? And because I don't think we have the conductor.
No, I don't think you have either. Like when I think about Japanese court music, it seems like everybody has their own understanding of what's going on around them. There's nobody leading necessarily. Sometimes with a taiko group, they'll arrange it such that whoever's playing the shime is guiding the rest of the group in the tempo and the intensity, and you kind of pay attention to them. But otherwise, there's no conductor that I'm aware of, and most of it is folk music too. So you don't need to coordinate like 50 people
Mm,
doing different instruments in different sections.
Yeah, I see. Could you show us a little bit of like a play?
Yeah, of course. So this is this flute I got 6 months, maybe 8 months ago, that I played for Obon in Yonaguni, and it goes a
So
little bit
this
like
is
this.
Yonaguni flute.
This is a Yonaguni flute.
Okay, Yonaguni style.
Yeah, sometimes they still have the note on them, which is not common in Shinobue at all.
It's really interesting, like the sound. I don't know how to say, the texture of the sound, I would say, is really like a Japanese traditional, but I still hear the Okinawa sense, like with the note.
I mean, all of the flutes that I have are doremi style, except for maybe one, which is the folk style. But I think Okinawa puts emphasis on certain notes which are different. I think in Shinobue you tend to play more in what would we call in Western like a minor scale. Okinawan is either major scale, or there's another scale that sounds very bright. They like very bright and happy and almost like heavenly tones. Japanese music tends to sound a bit darker. Like
okay.
Yeah. So this one is a D minor pentatonic. And so when you hear the scale like this, like there's more semitones, there's more half notes that are being used. And so it's more contemplative, it sounds more like meditation rather than a celebration.
Oh, okay, more like a calmness.
Yeah, calmness and contemplative, like you're thinking over some really hard stuff.
Yeah, I see. But yeah, I saw the shakuhachi needs more the breath control.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Shakuhachi is all about the breath. So within the span of one breath, you're supposed to put all of your attention, all of your skill, and you're not supposed to have anything else in your mind. It is a meditation tool.
Interesting. So flute is a part of meditation.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, anything. I mean, you've lived in Japan, so you know this, but anything can be used as a kind of meditation if you do it repeatedly and if you do it to like a high quality, like making sushi. Or cutting fish is a form of meditation.
Need to go into the zone thing.
Yeah, basically.
Sure. As you said, you had no experience of the Western flute, but you also play didgeridoo.
Yeah.
So can you tell me the difference? Not about the function, but like how you feel, or when it comes to like meditating, you mentioned. Do you feel any difference when you play shakuhachi, Shinobue, like the soul of Japan, and didgeridoo?
There's your individual experience, and how when you go into playing the instrument, what mindset you take with you, like what you're trying to achieve. And then there's the context in which the instruments were created, and that's a different thing. So I can't speak for the context of when the didgeridoo was created because I wasn't there. And but when I play it, I find it to be similar enough in meaningful ways. You're looking for the same thing, as I said before, the vibration. The vibration is like the most important thing. And you have to keep, because the didgeridoo has circular breathing, you have to keep that pressure. So it's less about one breath. As the shakuhachi is, you are circular breathing. And so it's about keeping a consistent and constant stream of breath going. And when I play the didgeridoo, I feel like I can be a lot more experimental with rhythm.
Okay. Yeah.
And the primality of the didgeridoo, I feel like you have to respect more what the didgeridoo was maybe purpose built for. Because they were often used in ceremonies towards sort of annual events, like maybe maybe there was a coming of age ceremony, or a lot of the sounds that are made on the didgeridoo are animal calls, because
I
a lot of
didn't
the
know that.
a lot of the totems that
Yeah,
part
yeah,
of
yeah,
the
yeah.
cultures of the different nations
Mm.
that they were born under,
Yeah.
like they have words and sounds that they speak into the didgeridoo that reflect the calls of those animals. And you know, the kookaburra has one, the frog has one, the dingo has one. And depending on what kind of story you tell, like those sounds are an accompaniment to the dance, which is still about telling a story in an embodied way.
Yeah, like a Dreamtime thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I see.
Yes.
I see.
And so you might be able to draw some parallels between that and certain honkyoku, like tsuru no tsugumori, which is, I think, the life cycle of the cranes.
Yeah.
And then there's, up in the Northern Territory, there's a piece called Godoruku, which is all about the Brolga dance. And so they have different ways of maybe attacking the same subject matter.
Yeah. I see. So you see kind of similarity in playing didgeridoo and flute. Okay, so thank you so much for coming and talking about lots of things. So personally, for me, one of the most interesting thing was flute is about the vibration. So more like feeling, like the sense of the feeling and touch and lips rather than just a sound. And that was really interesting to me. So this is the last question. If you had to describe what these traditional instruments mean to you in one word or a phrase, what would it be?
Connection.
Wow. I love that.
Yeah. And there's multiple levels to it as well, because there's your connection between your lips and the instrument. And of course, like the vibration, the resonance that you have in your lungs, and the resonance in the flute. So you with the object. And then there's the connection that you have with the other players. So, for example, if I'm improvising with a taiko player, then I can feel the way that he's playing and he can feel the way that I'm playing. And we don't have to speak about it. We can feel what each other is doing and then just play off each other, and it works. Or it doesn't, but more often than not, it works. When you go and you play in nature, you maybe find a little shrine somewhere up in the mountains in Japan, and you sit down and you play long enough so that your mental chatter up here kind of stops. You just hear your flute, and you just hear the sound of the birds and the wind and the trees and like the leaves falling, and so you feel a connection with the environment, like you're not separate from it.
Yeah.
And then of course, when you go to other communities and the flute is integrated into their local,
as you said about the Yonaguni.
About Yonaguni, then you can connect with people on the opposite side of the world through something that you're able to do that doesn't use words. Like even if your Japanese is not good, you can go to half the places in Japan that have any sort of Shinto and sit down and play kagura with them. And you can connect with people that way. So yeah, I'd say connection is like a really important word.
Not even many Japanese can do that, I guess.
Why not?
Yeah, we can.
Let's talk about that next time.
Okay, so thank you so much for coming here, Jordan. For sharing the world of traditional flute with us. So to me, who barely know about it, it was such a nice time to learn about, part of our culture. So you've shown us that each instrument carries its own voice, and also I really love your answer in the last one, connection to everything, not only to the people, but culture and nature and your own body. From Shinobue to Shakuhachi to Didgeridoo, it's not just about playing different instruments, it's about connecting with different ways of seeing the world. So what did you think, guys? So let us know in the comments if you've ever been moved by the sound of a traditional instrument, and or if you ever played like a Western musical instruments as well. So don't forget to subscribe to see more passionate people sharing what they love. And remember, when you're truly passionate about something, language barriers just disappear, as he told. Thanks for watching Geek Out With Me. See you next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.